Imagine losing everything you thought you needed. Not some of it, all of it. Your plans collapse without warning. The people you trusted begin to doubt you. The path you spent years carefully building disappears overnight, as if it was never there to begin with. Every direction you turn, something new pushes back. Nothing goes your way. The world feels like it has personally, deliberately decided that you are not the one it will cooperate with. Now imagine this. In the middle of all of that, you feel nothing shaken. Not numb. Not cold. Not disconnected from reality. Just steady. Rooted. Clear. Unbreakable in the deepest, most honest sense of that word. This isn't hype. This isn't the kind of surface-level motivation that feels good for 20 minutes and then evaporates the moment real life walks through the door. This is something older, quieter, more dangerous. It's power. Real power. And it comes from one single Stoic truth that most people spend their entire lives avoiding, dismissing, or simply not being ready to hear. You do not control what happens to you. You only control how you respond. That's it. 3 seconds to say. A lifetime to truly live. Simple. Brutal. Liberating beyond anything you have ever been told. Most people hear that and nod. They agree with it intellectually. They share it online. They write it in journals. But very few people actually live it. Because truly living it means giving up one of the most deeply held human fantasies. The fantasy that life should go your way. That fairness is guaranteed. That effort always produces the outcome you planned for. That if you do everything right, the world will respond in kind. It won't. It never promised that it would. There was a man who understood none of this for most of his life. He planned every detail of his future with obsessive precision. His career was mapped out. His reputation carefully built and protected, brick by brick, year by year. He had a clear vision of exactly who he would become and exactly how he would get there. He was certain. He was prepared. He believed, in the quiet corners of his confidence, that he had figured it out. Then one day, without negotiation, without warning, it collapsed. The opportunity he had built everything around disappeared. The people he had invested in turned against him. Years of effort, years of discipline, years of sacrifice. He erased in a single moment the way a wave erases writing in sand. At first, he did what almost every human being does. He fought reality. He replayed every conversation, searching for the moment things went wrong. He blamed the circumstances. He blamed the people. He waited, with clenched fists and a tight chest, for the world to correct itself and give him what he had earned. But life doesn't negotiate. It never has. And exhausted, finally broken open by the weight of resisting what had already happened, something deep inside him shifted. He stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And he started asking something different. Something smaller. Something terrifyingly powerful. What is in my control right now? His breathing. His thoughts. The next decision he would make in the next 5 minutes. Nothing outside him had changed. The loss was still real. The betrayal still stung. The road ahead was still uncertain and dark. But inside everything changed. Because he had stopped pouring his energy into the ocean and started directing it toward the shore. Here is the truth most people never accept, not fully, not in the bones where it needs to live. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Let that breathe for a moment. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Events do not break you. Your interpretation of events does. Criticism is nothing more than sound waves traveling through air until your mind assigns it weight. Failure is not a verdict, it is information. Loss is not an ending, it is change in a form you didn't choose. The mind adds the story. The mind transforms raw moments into meaning. And the moment you realize that you are the author of that meaning, that you hold the pen even when you do not hold the plot, you become dangerous in the best possible way. Because now nothing external owns you. Think about the last thing that genuinely upset you. Not the event itself, but your reaction to it. The frustration that kept circling. The thoughts you replayed at 2 in the morning. The emotional spiral that pulled you further from peace with every revolution. What would have happened if, in that exact moment, you had simply paused and said to yourself, quietly, without performance, without pretending it didn't hurt, "This is outside my control. My response is not." That single sentence is the entire distance between a fragile mind and an unstoppable one. Picture a storm moving over the open ocean. At the surface, waves crash and collide with violent, chaotic force. Spray and noise and power in every direction. But go deep enough beneath that surface and there is something the storm cannot reach. Pure, absolute stillness. Stoic resilience is not about fighting the storm. It is not about pretending the storm isn't there. It is about becoming the depth. The place the storm cannot touch. You still feel. You still care deeply. You still act with everything you have. But you are not thrown. You are not ruled. You are not at the mercy of whatever the surface looks like today. This is inner sovereignty. And it is available to you right now, today, exactly as you are. When something difficult happens, and it will, because that is the nature of being alive, try this. First, name clearly what you cannot control. Other people's choices, outcomes, timing, the past. Name them and release them with intention, not defeat. Second, claim without apology what you can control. Your effort, your perspective, your integrity, the very next move you make. Third, act immediately on what is yours. No drama added. No delay. No waiting for the conditions to feel right. Just clear, deliberate action on the only territory that has ever truly belonged to you. That is mental strength. Not as a concept. In motion. Months after losing everything, that man rebuilt. Not loudly. Not chasing validation or approval or the satisfaction of proving anyone wrong. Quietly. Deliberately. With the kind of focus that only becomes possible when you stop spending energy on things that were never yours to control. He became calm under pressure. Decisive in chaos. Unmoved by opinion in a world addicted to it. People around him started calling him resilient. Unbreakable. Exceptional. But he knew the real truth. He hadn't become stronger than life. He had simply stopped fighting the parts of life that could never be fought. He stopped trying to control the world. He started every single day controlling himself. And that small, quiet, relentless practice was when life stopped controlling him.